All Quiet on the Western Front follows the quiet unraveling of a young man's spirit as he steps into a war he never truly understood. Paul Bäumer begins as a schoolboy swept up in national pride, carried by the enthusiasm of his classmates and the certainty that their generation is destined for greatness. The posters, the speeches, the marching bands, all of it paints war as a path to glory, a doorway into adulthood. But the moment he reaches the front, reality hits like a physical blow. Mud replaces the polished floors of his classroom. The sharp smell of gunpowder replaces the ink on his notebooks. And the cheerful faces of his friends are exchanged for the hollow eyes of men who have already seen too much. The trenches become his world, a world of shivering nights, sudden barrages, and the constant knowledge that death could come quietly or violently, but always without reason. He learns quickly that survival is not about courage, but about listening, watching, and never trusting the calm. Shells fall at random, turning familiar spaces into jagged wastelands within seconds. Rain turns the floors of the trenches into rivers of filth. Rats swarm the rations. Hunger gnaws at the men until they learn to ignore it. Paul's innocence dissolves piece by piece, worn down not by a single traumatic moment, but by the relentless accumulation of fear, exhaustion, and the constant proximity of death. Friendship becomes the only anchor. The older soldiers guide him with weary patience, teaching him how to read the battlefield the way others read weather, warning him when to duck, when to run, and when to simply lie still and wait. These bonds form quietly, in shared meals, in the rare moments of laughter, in the unspoken understanding that any one of them might be gone tomorrow. Yet even this comfort is fragile. One by one, the faces he has grown to depend on begin to vanish. Some fall in sudden bursts of violence. Others linger long enough to whisper a final memory before fading. Paul feels each loss as if a part of him is being carved away, leaving behind an emptiness he cannot fill. While the soldiers bleed and rot in the trenches, distant politicians debate strategy in warm rooms, delaying peace talks by hours that cost hundreds of lives. Orders continue to flow, demanding charges across fields already soaked with the dead. Paul witnesses the same ground taken and lost again, as if the war is devouring itself in circles. The landscapes he moves through, shattered forests, burned villages, fields cratered like moonscapes, begin to feel dreamlike, as if reality has been warped by constant suffering. He feels older than his years, weighed down by experiences no human should carry. Yet somewhere beneath the numbness, a faint spark of hope persists, the hope that this nightmare might one day end. As the war nears its conclusion, Paul finds himself stripped to the core. His dreams of the future feel unreachable. His memories of the past feel like scenes from another life. And still, his commanders demand one final push, one last senseless attack, ordered out of pride rather than strategy. With the armistice only minutes away, he charges once more into a world of smoke and screaming earth, moving out of duty more than belief. In those final moments, he feels the weight of everything he has seen pressing down on him. The friends he lost, the innocence stolen, the countless lives erased. When the guns finally fall silent, the quiet is almost unbearable. It settles over the battlefield like a shroud, revealing the true cost of everything that came before. Paul's life ends just as peace begins, his final breath swallowed by the stillness he longed for. And in that silence, the tragedy becomes clear. The war that promised honor gave him only emptiness, and the peace that arrives does so too late for those who paid its price. What remains is not triumph, but a haunting void, a reminder that war consumes far more than bodies. It devours futures, dreams, and entire generations, leaving behind only the quiet that follows when everything worth protecting has already been lost.